The Voice Season 26 Episode 13 Recap. Reba McEntire makes a wild move after a high-energy first night of knockouts. The Voice Season 26 hopes to match the excitement from the previous evening's festivities. With difficult decisions coming into play, solidifying the perfect roster moving into the playoffs is top of mind for each coach. Whether rookie or veteran, this quartet is eager to stand victorious on finale night. Since it's a Tuesday night episode, expect a truncated evening of music. Have a favorite artist? Don't get too attached. Cross your fingers that they don't get a Game of Thrones style send-off. Here 1 minute, gone the next with little to no fanfare. While the second night of knockouts still showcases some extraordinary artistry, it truly is the companion of the preceding episode. Oh, and if you're expecting some Snoop Dogg content, you'll be disappointed. Gwen Stefani makes a tough decision. While it may have been cold in the studio during the coaching session, it was hot on stage as Gwen Stefani pits three extraordinary female talents against one another. To kick off the second night of knockouts, it was Felsmere versus Gabrielle Zaboski versus Kay Seibel. Each singer has their own identity that allows them to stand out individually. No matter what happens, losing any of these artists is a tremendous loss for The Voice. For Felsmere, she opts to sing a classic. A classic in the sense of timeliness, but also a classic when it comes to singing competitions. Her swaggy approach to Dusty Springfield's Son of a Preacher Man is unique with a modern flair. The song is a tribute to her father, who she lost. She shares that he was there when she first appeared on the show in Season 1, so she hopes this performance will make him proud. Felsmere's stage presence is unmatched. She is a natural and in her element, but does she have enough uniqueness to stand out? Felsmere is a safe artist. She is going to deliver time after time. Gabrielle Zaboski selects Used to Be Young by Miley Cyrus. She has an emotional connection to the lyrics, which allows her to bring out a passionate performance. Her ability to soar vocally brings out the power she naturally has. While Gwen wants the quirky character she knows and loves about Zaboski to come out, she can play to the other side, which makes Zaboski's potential rise. Gabrielle Zaboski is special. Kay Seibel opts to play piano on Ariana Grande's One Last Time. It's an incredibly stripped-down rendition that showcases a side of Seibel that her other competitors are unable to provide. The only problem is Seibel's approach is quite internal. Thankfully, when she does leave the keyboard, she shows that she can make the stage hers. Gwen has an incredibly difficult decision, as each one of her singers has potential to reach the top. In the end, Gwen decides the winner is Gabrielle Zaboski. Unfortunately, no second chance for Felsmere or Kay Seibel, ending their journey without even a goodbye or thank you to their coach. Where are the other performances? Reba McEntire has a unique knockout matchup on her hands as she sees KDO allegedly take on Frankie Torres and Kendall Eugene. While 2 out of 3 occupy that country slot, is that the slot that Reba wants to maintain on her team? Now, since this is the Tuesday broadcast, we only have a shortened time to celebrate our artists. Unlike other knockouts, this one is not a fully realized one. In fact, we see one singer and one singer only, KDO. We cut right into the tail end of her performance, where Reba tells her she made it a KDO song and alerts her that she is the winner of the knockout. Season 26 of The Voice has been full of surprises, and Episode 13 was no exception. As the competition intensifies, coaches are forced to make tough decisions, and none more so than Reba McEntire. The country music legend, in her debut season as a coach, has brought a unique blend of warmth and wisdom to the show. But in this episode, Reba made a move that left everyone stunned. The stage is set, the night began with anticipation thick in the air. With each team narrowing down to just a handful of artists, the pressure was on for each coach to guide their singers toward their best performances. The coaches Reba McEntire, John Legend, Niall Horan, and Gwen Stefani have already built their teams around powerhouse vocalists, but now it's about fine-tuning those raw talents. The stakes are high, and one slip could mean the end of the road for any artist. Reba, always the strategist, has spent the last few weeks nurturing her team with a blend of tough love and encouragement. Her eye for authenticity in storytelling has been her guiding principle in choosing artists. Episode 13, however, tested those values in an unexpected way. The battles heat up. The battle rounds are always a highlight of The Voice, where two singers from the same team face off in a duet, and only one can move forward. Reba's team took center stage early on, with two of her strongest contenders, a soulful blues-influenced vocalist, Sarah, and an up-and-coming country artist, Jake. Their song choice, Tennessee Whiskey by Chris Stapleton, seemed tailor-made for their styles. Sarah's raw, emotional delivery stood in contrast to Jake's smooth, polished vocals, making for a captivating performance. As the song progressed, it became clear that this wasn't going to be an easy decision for Reba. Both artists showcased their strengths, and by the time the last note rang out, the audience was on their feet. The other coaches weighed in with their thoughts, with John Legend praising Sarah's emotional depth, while Gwen Stefani commended Jake's vocal control. But the ultimate decision lay with Reba. As she stood there, weighing her options, she surprised everyone by making a wild and unexpected move. Reba's shocking decision in a moment that left the audience and fellow coaches speechless. Reba did something that no one saw coming. Instead of choosing one artist to move forward, she declared that she couldn't let either of them go. She used her one and only steal reserved for saving an artist from another coach's team on her own contestant. "I just can't imagine letting either of you leave this stage tonight," Reba said, her voice cracking with emotion. "You both have something special, and I believe in you equally." The audience erupted in cheers as Reba broke the rules of the game in a way only she could. By using her steal in this unconventional way, she essentially gave both Sarah and Jake a second chance to remain on her team, defying the traditional structure of the competition. It was a move filled with heart, but also with risk. The fallout, while Reba's wild decision brought applause from the audience, it also raised eyebrows among her fellow coaches. John Legend, ever the tactician, remarked, "That's a bold move, Reba. I respect it, but you know this competition only gets tougher." Niall Horan, however, was more playful in his reaction. "You've just changed the game, Reba," he laughed. "I didn't know that was allowed. You're setting a new standard here." Gwen Stefani, always the voice of encouragement, supported Reba's decision, noting, "At the end of the day, this show is about nurturing artists. And if Reba feels that both of these singers deserve to keep going, I say more power to her." Behind the scenes, the producers seemed just as shocked as the coaches. It wasn't clear how this decision would impact the structure of the competition moving forward, but it was evident that Reba's move was already rewriting the rules of The Voice. What's next? As the episode continued, the other teams followed with their own intense battles, but Reba's unprecedented move remained the highlight of the night. Fans on social media were buzzing with reactions, many praising Reba for following her heart and staying true to her roots. Others, however, questioned whether this set a dangerous precedent for future seasons. Regardless of the controversy, one thing is clear: Reba McEntire has proven that she's not just a coach, but a game changer. Her wild move in episode 13 has ensured that this season of The Voice will go down in history as one of the most unpredictable and emotional yet. Final thoughts: Reba's decision to save both Sarah and Jake was a reminder of why audiences love her. She's a coach who isn't afraid to break the mold, and she values the emotional journey of her artists as much as their technical growth. Whether this bold strategy will pay off in the long run remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: Reba McEntire is here to shake things up, and her team is stronger and more united than ever. As the competition continues, fans will be eagerly watching to see how Reba's move impacts the dynamic of the show. Will other coaches follow suit,